taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Dr. Chad on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream. Today is Halloween, and it looks like somebody by the name of Party has got his Halloween costume on today, overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. I am going to, unfortunately, I have to let's see. Well, never mind. Yeah, today's Halloween. Welcome, everyone. 3 minutes till the market open. S&P taking a little nosedive. Some of the big tech stocks, Coinbase, Meta, Microsoft down, S&P down 41, NASDAQ down 158. Russell trying to hold its head up, only down 2 points. Dow down 250. Gold down almost 1%, silver down almost 2%, notes and bonds red, 10-year yield up almost 1%, oil up 1%, natural gas down 2.5%, soybeans green, corn flat, wheat red, euro and the pound pretty close to unchanged, Bitcoin up 0.25%, VIX, little poppy pop in VIX up 10%, 21.24 at the freeze. On my big board here, I've got Apple, Amazon, Disney, Coinbase, Tesla, Nvidia, Netflix, Meta. On my other board, I've got AMD, Baidu, Boeing, SQ, Google, Microsoft, MU, and TSM. So as always, if you guys see any volume spiking or any price action that warrants some attention, let me know. It's going to be a treat today, Fast. It is going to be a treat. Feeling good. Got my Black Rifle coffee. Not too much, though. If I drink too much coffee, it makes me want to overtrade. You got to have that balance. The alertness and the focus that the caffeine gives you without overdoing it. 5 cups. Woo! You're ready. We're going to be trading the 1 DTE options today. Since it's Thursday, we'll be on the 1-day options, choosing strikes right around the money. 1 strike in or 1 strike out of the money. I'll let you know which one I'm jumping on when I enter a trade. Opening bell in 5. I do have a couple of double calendars that I'll be closing out this morning. So I'll have to post those. Yes, I will be doing 1 DTE as well. Expected move in SPX is about 30.1. Let me get that marked on my chart. NDX 128. S&P down 50. As you can see on my charts, I like to zoom out to start the day. Be able to see a couple days back as well as the overnight action. That's when once we get past the first 10 minutes, I'll kind of zoom in. But I like to see where price is reacting around overnight highs and lows, previous day highs and lows, that kind of thing. So Meta had earnings. It's down a little over 2%. Microsoft had earnings. It's down 4.5%. Coinbase had earnings. It is down 3%. Other big movers, Peloton had earnings and it's up 24%. They got to be getting bought out soon. Let's see what else. Twilio is up 13.5% after earnings. Lemonade is up 20% after earnings. MasterCard is up 2%. Looks like they had earnings before the bell. Starbucks had earnings. They didn't do much of anything. Tesla's slightly green. Robinhood is down 9%. Hood had earnings, yesterday after the bell. Roku down 14% after earnings. S&P and NASDAQ coming down at the open. It's like big tech getting hit the most. SMCI down another 8% after their auditor quit or whatever it was. All right, first 5-minute bar has got about 30 seconds left. NASDAQ definitely the weakest, down a 1.25%. S&P's down a little less than 1%. Russell is only down 0.25%. Dow down a little over 0.5%. It's my high VIX version. It hasn't fired yet. All right, so my 1-2 just closed. All right, so posted my 1-2 exit. Took a little bit of a bath. Luckily, I only did a 1 lot on that one. All right, so let's start zooming in and check out the volume coming in on the second bar. Disney's taken off. Disney's up 1.5%. Tesla back in the red. Netflix is green. Meta trying to push up above yesterday's lows. S&P and NASDAQ bouncing a little bit. Google is green. I need Google back above 182-ish. So my little earnings play. Boeing dipped and tried to bounce, dipping again. There you go, Goog. Keep pushing, buddy. Keep pushing, little buddy. So Disney is getting some decent volume here on the second bar. Not sure it'll make it. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, so my 1 DTE Iron Condor will be firing here in the next couple seconds. I'll post it in the live chat channel whenever it's posted. Here we go. I'm on the 57.20, 58.25. So 105 wide on the 1 DTE. All right, so coming to the end of our second 5-minute bar. Baidu got close. Disney got close to the upside. Let's see any. Roku? I took Roku off my board because the options are just so wide a lot of times. But yeah, it certainly did. Let me check the options. So it's a $63 stock and you've got 25-cent wide options. So it's tradable, not my favorite, but I'm gonna pass. Excuse me, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna wait for something else. But the setup is definitely legit. If you get a little bounce for an entry, certainly got the volume bar. Look at those 64 calls are now 50 cents wide, 45 cents wide on a $64 stock. That's just not the greatest. Google's still pushing. AMD made a little quick push up to positive territory and got slammed back down. Nothing to do in meta, Chessmaster. That's what we in the business call a losing trade. Again, I've said this 10 times when I put these on. These are just little, almost gambles, little shots. I mean, these are not a core part of my trading. Those are just for fun. Tiny position size. It comes down between now and tomorrow, could still win. But I put that on with the intention of accepting, or the acceptance that I'll take a full loss on it if it doesn't go my way. All right, Netflix bouncing back up into the green. Disney still pushing up. Google still pushing up. Square just pushed up into green territory, kind of chopping. Just positive. So Roku did have a little bounce and it pushed back down. Tesla bouncing back up into positive territory. S&P still kind of chopping within its first 5-minute bar range. Same with NDX. Volatility contracting a little bit from the open. So on my 2-3. Oh, wow. Yeah. Baidu had a big volume bar, but not really a big price bar on that. BA, yeah, you got a decent price push, a little higher volume there. Let's see what BA does here. S&P and NASDAQ pushing through lows of day. Tesla back through lows. It's tried to go positive several times, keeps getting pushed back down. SQ, which was holding positive, is now pushing low, pushing lower. Coinbase pushing lower, Nvidia pushing lower, indices pushing lower. Boeing's still going down. I mean, we had that massive volume spike in Baidu, but that candle was just kind of sideways. It wasn't really like a typical volume runner type price action. MU's starting to form what could be a mighty 90. Tesla almost had a volume bar as high as the first on that push down. Looking at MU, I would trade the 100 calls in MU. I'm going to put an order on the 100 calls in MU at a $1.68. Filled at $1.68. MU mighty 90 long. I'll hit my first profit target. Put that at $1.85. Almost got there on that quick little bounce before I even got my order in. It's another, well, that's coming back down. It's a quick little bounce, and I got a good fill on the entry. I almost hit profit target on that little bounce. Orders at $1.85 to close some. NDX has pushed through its lower expected daily move. Well, it would have been nice to hit that quick profit target in MU. It's back down. I did a position size small enough, so I'm going to add to it if we get another push lower. Wow, Coinbase down 8%, and Bitcoin's down less than 1%. MU trying to bounce again. Coinbase has a big volume bar, higher than the first. It's bouncing right back up to the overnight lows. You could consider taking a short here in coin. It already obviously had a big overnight move down with earnings and a move down push at the open. Got about a minute left on this bar. If it pushed above the current bar, you just bail because that's the volume bar. I'm looking at the 195 puts. I'm gonna give it a minute. Looks like it wants to bounce here, but I'm gonna do a small downside volume runner. In coin, 195 puts, trying to get filled at 425. Fourth. 35? Come on. Man, missed it. Hmm. Filled at 455. Also just filled on MU at 185 to close part. So I'm going to be quick to cut this coin. So that's kind of looks bouncy here. So if it pushes above that previous bar, I'm just going to cut it. AMD is getting crushed. Down 3% now. Coinbase, I will put my first profit target at $5. Filled at 502. S&P and NASDAQ are both trying to bounce a little bit. Like MU is trying to give us a second green bar, but kind of coming back down a little bit. BA trying to bounce. Try to shed some more coin at 550. We get a quick flush. Market is weak, boys and girls. Market is feeling heavy. MU back down. Got out another coin at 550. Yeah, I filled at 550. I've got one left. Now we're bouncing a little bit. MU, don't like that price action. Whenever I get in a mighty 90, if it gives one little green bar and then it's kind of a pause and then continuation. Not a fan of that price action if I'm long here in MU. Give it a minute. Got a little volume pop in AMD. I'm already in MU, which another chip, so I'm not going to jump in AMD, but looks like it may be ready for a bounce. That mighty 90 volume pop. I'm about to cut my last coin here. doesn't, if it pushes above that previous bar. NASDAQ has been all red. No green 5-minute candles. S&P's had a couple little green pauses. All right, I'm out of coin. Closing my last coin, filled at $4. All right. MU, I got out of part on that first bounce. I've still got some left on that one. Coinbase sure looks exhausted to the downside. Got a couple little rejections off that 194 level. AMD, nice little bounce. If anyone took that mighty 90. The only reason I didn't is because I'm already in MU, which is pretty highly correlated. I'm going to take a long in coin on the 197.5 calls. Trying to get filled at 460. Really just, I mean, it had that filled at 460 on the 197.5 calls. It had that big volume spike, and it's really looking like that's signifying exhaustion here. So it's almost like looking at it from a failed volume runner standpoint, even though we made money. But it sure looks like it wants to bounce here. So looking at this as kind of a level rejection / looking at using the volume to signify potential exhaustion here. It's not one of our technical trades like a mighty 90 or runner, but that's how I look at price action, using price and volume. MU trying to bounce back up. The other thing with coin is looking at a daily chart. You can see it, that recent low on October 23rd. Today's price action came down and kind of pierced that and has started to bounce. So looking at that as a potential stop hunting scenario as well. A lot of retail traders probably have their stop under that low of 1023, which could provide some liquidity for a bounce here. So all those things together is kind of my rationale for getting long on coin here. I'll hit my first profit target at $5. Oh, I would have had my order in, it probably would have hit. There we go. Filled at $5 in coin. All right, so MU's getting a second green bar. Still got a couple minutes. See if that thing wants to extend a little bit higher. Google came back down to unchanged and bounced pretty hard. Boeing is looking a little bottomy. Little bit bottomy, like it wants to maybe bounce, but not getting any. Just a couple little wiki at the bottom. NVIDIA getting a nice bounce. I'll take another piece of coin off at 560. They can push up a little bit more. I'll put an order to close the rest of my MU at $1.87. I'll close that here in the next 30 seconds if it doesn't get hit. Out of MU at, come on. $1.76. Sold some more coin at 560. Got 2 lots left. Nice bounce out of Baidu. So you could look at Boeing as a potential stop hunter. It had that kind of, if you look at the overnight lows from 2 days ago if you kind of scale back on a 5-minute chart, it's kind of poked below that a couple times and bounced. A level rejection similar to what we're looking at in coin. Again, these are a little different than what we normally do from a Mighty 90 and runner perspective, but let's see what Boeing does here. I may take a long in Boeing if it holds up here. I'd be trading the 152 half calls in Boeing. Don't see anything else. Yeah, let me bring it on to. Let me bring it onto the screen here. Okay, so when I'm looking for stop hunter type trades, I'm looking for recent price levels, like within the last couple days, where price has made a decent move higher, preferably kind of a V type movement, like you see here. This overnight low, not last night's overnight, but the night before that low there. You see price has been kind of reacting off that. It dipped below it, pushed up, dipped below it, pushed up. Now we're coming back down again. So if we just keep going down, obviously I'm not going to take anything. But if we bounce here again, back up to the 151 half level, I'm going to take a long. What the market does a lot of times is if the market's going to move higher, a lot of times it will need to come down to find liquidity. And where's the liquidity? It's usually where a lot of people will place their stops under a significant recent low. And so a lot of times that's where you'll see big moves happen, is after it comes down, grabs that liquidity, and makes the move. So let's see what Boeing does here. SPX is now below its expected move for the day. VIX is over 22. And then the other aspect of Boeing is just kind of like we were talking about on Coinbase. It's rejected that 151 level twice, right? It came down, bounced, came down again, bounced. It's right back there again. So if we bounce here again, it's basically saying, me no want to go lower. So it's trying to bounce off that level again. I mean, you could also be looking for downside continuation runners on several of these stocks. AMD, it's kind of chopping sideways near the lows. Tesla, if it breaks above that consolidation, you get at it a small loss. MU, Meta, Disney's kind of looking like an upside continuation. S&P's down 73. Kind of fighting the tape a little bit today again, right? I mean, we made a little bit of money on coin on the downside, but a little bit on the bounce in MU, and then the bounce in coin. I was hoping for a quick reaction. I mean, it's Tesla bouncing. S&P, NASDAQ bouncing. I still have 2 contracts in coin. Just wanted to see if we could push back up to at least the low of the first 5-minute bar. So I'm not going to take Boeing, but I think Boeing's going to bounce. Just rejected that 151 level a lot, which is also that area I mentioned. Coin, I'm going to close my last piece here. Filled at 470. Probably won't take anything else, but I'm going to sit on here for a little bit, just see what Boeing does here for a minute. And then we'll wrap it up. Very nice. So there's my P&L plus 775 for the day. The bigger winner was coin on the bounce. That was good for 460. The little downside volume runner was plus 181. All right, all. I'm going to wrap this up. Hope everybody has a good rest of your day. We will be back for Power Hour for use your DT ears. Let's see. I think that's it. Happy Halloween, everyone. Take care.